All right, guys. Real quick, what we're gonna do is we're gonna analyze, listen to Usman Timbo. I mean, for a lot of you guys that follow politics in Sierra Leone, Usman Timbo is one of those people that are with the Agenda 2028. But for Usman Timbo, it's very difficult to really, sometimes it's really difficult to put him, where to figure out what's going on with him. So he's playing it very safe. On It's very clear, but it's playing it very safe. So let us, without much ado, I'm not going to waste much time. But let's listen to him. He did an interview today with on Liberty TV online. I tried to really stay away from these guys and their comments and statements. But it's nice to I think say shed light on a few things to make it clear, because I really don't want to spend my time on anybody where they talk about 2028. More so, I just want to focus on the people that are paying attention to the fact that the elections of the June 24th, 2023 elections are not available. And what are they going to do as citizens, as custodians of the democracy in itself, to ensure that we don't allow this legacy to stay? Because we should not allow this as Sierra Leoneans for allow a situation where we conducted an elections and the elections results are not available, to the point where we've gone into a dialogue. And still after the dialogue, just because we want for salvage peace, we don't have the result. But we have our brothers, people like Osman Timbo and them, that are in parliament unconstitutionally, illegally occupying parliament at this time. Because the parliament is illegally constituted. When you have an elections where the results that actually defined how people are sent to parliament is questionable, that in itself, it lacks legitimacy, it lacks authority, and it lacks power from the people. So that is what I'm focused in here. So let's listen a little bit. This gentleman at this Liberty TV, because all of these platforms, I really don't want to give them, the time of day. But at least people go talk it and talk, and we hear them, and we have to speak on what they're saying. Because the reason why I don't want to give these platforms the time of day, they never have an opinion on their own. These people don't get opinion as journalists. They're just sitting there waiting for taking interviews from people and saying that say, but never have opinions. We not get opinionated journalists in Sierra Leone now, because the moment they start for give their own opinion, freedom is gone. If you're not careful, the TV stations will be shut down. So that's what it is. But Osman Timbo, everybody knows, you guys know, is illegally occupying parliament. These are the people that have actually, legitimized Marabio's illegal presidency at this point. Because just as he was bold enough to resign from the APC as the former, assistant secretary general of the APC party, that level of boldness should have been transferred over to the parliament as well, that is illegally being occupied by these guys, legitimizing Marabio's illegal presidency every day. I don't think they should play a part in that. So as young as he is, which is why, if anything, I have a little bit of a sympathetic thread, connected there. But at the end of the day, our people that are suffering deserve so much better. So the people Leon feeling, I think, say, supersedes any kind of a sympathetic feeling I will get for Timbo. I think, say, I go put the people up there and Timbo will come dong there. So, when it comes to that, because he's living a very privileged life, and he's always lived a privileged life, better than 90% of the population of Sierra Leone. At least he's in that 10 percentile of people that will live good life. And Papa was a chief justice, all of that. So we know that for a fact. So in as much as he may think it resonates with the people, I don't think he feels the pain of the people. I was listening to Cashbox's message today, and Cashbox said something about one mommy will tell him, say, we tell them, say, they just make them go dirty, and finger them for nothing. Basically, because, people that are illiterate, when they vote, they have to use their thumbprint, the indelible ink. They said these guys just, make them kind of dirty with finger. Our fingers were just filthy, messed up during the voting. Because what is the essence of voting if all we had to do was just go and dirty our fingers? They just dirtied our fingers. That's what they did to us, because their votes are not counted. And this is what is crucial, and this is why people like myself are here. Because again, what is happening today in Sierra Leone is going to be voter apathy. But let's listen to Timbo now without much ado. And thank you guys for joining me now. This guy is going to throw this question, and I think let us all listen to it together. I'll be stopping in between to, make my comments. Hopefully the YouTube advertisements don't mess up my flow. Anyways, all right, let's listen to this together. All right.
And I feel the people of this nation, the people of the party, will see reason for do what is right.
You don't serve the APC party for quite a very long time, just like you mentioned. And this BNTM, we see the elections, how it been happening, and plenty of people within the party not being glad with regards to the outcome of the elections. We make them from the tripartite committee and that of seeking the electoral justice. So coming to the race, declaring your intention to be the next flag bearer of the APC party, how best you go for healing wounds and within people within the party, if you say the party we don't deceive them with regards to the tripartite where they may form?
Well, maybe the way you and I want to differ there for say the party be not deceive them. You know, but at the same time, it was one big thing in my declaration statement. And I think this don't cause a lot of hue and cry because certain people, a small set, really feel like, oh, me don't go against the PADEM and all that. And I've always said my agenda is one for unity and development, you know.
And just to make this point here, right? Everybody, if you did not listen or see, witness his declaration for presidency, I mean, everybody just, you want to be a president as long as you meet the requirements, being a citizen over 40, and you're good. Go contest for the presidency. But again, we're saying the June 24th, 2023 elections is free and clear, and we all know it's sacrosanct. We all know say the elections was not free and fair, the June 24th 2023 elections, and we're still asking for the results. But people like Osman Timbo them continue to occupy parliament and creating problems. Let's listen to Idea answer this question. Yes, it begets a lot of flack because it go after the old heads. We know that for a fact, right? It go after the old heads them and talk about the fact that, then they drag this party and destroy the party and this and that. But Osman Timbo is part of that as well. So none of that not resonate with me because he is part of the problem. If he had resigned from parliament and stand with Dr. Samora Kamara to fight for the results and say, you know what, as a lawyer and as a constitutionalist, I'm going to stand on the side of the people and say, no, the results should be produced. But he's still in parliament. So let's listen to how he answer this question here. So, yeah. All right.
And if you want to talk about uniting the party and uniting this nation and healing wounds, like how you call them, you have to be honest about it. You have to apportion blames to everybody who side the blame stay. I also say in my declaration statement that even God, if you want to let God forgive you, first have to confess your sins, right? So the first thing we have to do is, okay, apportion blames. We have to accept that what you are saying is that Dr. Samora Kamara, on the one hand, now initiate a dialogue. Now in go meet President Bio.
Okay. You see, wording matters. The way you word something, it really matters. When you say Dr. Samora Kamara initiates dialogue, that is a very dangerous comment and statement to make. Because not to Dr. Samora Kamara pick phone call Marabio. Now Marabio reach out for get in touch with Dr. Samora Kamara, which is the right thing to do. So the wording really matters in these instances and in these cases. So these guys have to be very careful how and choose their words and let people not misunderstand, because again, it goes to that false propaganda so that people don't go misunderstand exactly what is being said. But the fact of the matter is Dr. Samora Kamara did not initiate, and Marabio initiate, because it no say at that point, everybody within our house, no parliament was functioning. Freetown City Council, the councils across the country, nobody was participating in governance. It was a one-party state system. So, of course, the international community, they wanted, for us to find a way to, go walk through this thing. Honestly, if it was left for me at that particular point in time, yes, I would not have had any conversation with Marabio. The fact of the matter is, it should have been, let us, where's the result? Give us the result. No negotiations, no. But we all know the members of parliament, the Freetown City Council mayor, all of these people were running behind Dr. Samora Kamara because everybody say they don't go take debt. They have to pay their debts and they want to go back to parliament so that they go begin work for pay them debts. So we know the pressure was so much because politics is the all end all and be all for these guys in Sierra Leone. So it was like, even though Dr. Samora Kamara, they take a position, but a lot of these people and say they want to go to parliament because then they suffer. Even Timbo said something about about suffering, how then they had up and this and that and all that stuff. So Dr. Samora Kamara was pressed. It was just between the rock and the hard place and everything in between, right? because these guys wanted to go to parliament. So that was the thing. So of course, Marabio initiated the conversation. That was how it started. Then we take them from there. If Timbo had to rephrase these words, carefully how did they use their words there. But now Marabio initiate conversation. Dr. Samara Kumar go back to the party and go tell them. But let's listen carefully as it continues now. Now listen.
Without the authority of the party, they go and meet President Bio.
So again, that is a very dangerous thing to say. Without the authority of the party, it went and meet President Bio. You don't need the authority of the party to go meet President Bio. It was the chairman, it was the leader and presidential candidate of the APC party. What did it mean? Was it the fact that, okay, it be need for call the chairman of the party, call the secretary general, call the all force, Marabio don't call me, it want for talk to me? Is that what it meant? Maybe that's it mean. But again, it's about wording. They have to word these, when they make them wording there very carefully, so you don't sound like it's deceitful, like you're trying to deceive people to buy into one thing. But again, like I said, Timbo is very careful with the way he's using his words. They play with words because he knows people like us are here to watch these things, and we would not sit by and let that, just go by like that. But let's listen to this. He say, without the consent of the party. So I'm going to reverse a little bit, just so we go listen back to this. Let's listen here.
And deceive them. But at the same time, it was one big thing in my declaration statement. And I think this don't cause a lot of hue and cry because certain people, a small set, really feel like, oh, me don't go against the PADEM and all that. And I've always...
I think I take them too far. Let me... All right. I think I like it there.
Now initiate a dialogue. Now go meet President Bio. Without the authority of the party, they go and meet President Bio. Then go talk about this dialogue. They come back, I can't tell the party. First, they tell a small set of leadership. Then the small set of leadership come now, then call an extended NAC meeting, and then being and come. At this extended NAC meeting, almost all members of the National Executive were there. Regional executive chairpersons were there, district chairpersons were there, and other top-level APC members were also invited. They tabled the issue they tabled the issue, and afterwards we discussed it, and we all agree. Say, okay, since the leader don't go and go start this conversation, we all agree so we'll go engage, and based on that dynamic, we engage with the government on this national unity agreement, as well as the dialogue, as well as the tripartite.
Thank you. So again, after all the playing of words, because Timbo say what he's trying to do, appease all sides of the aisle. So we start first, the way we start with that negative, somewhat negative tone. It's like, oh yeah, we're talking. I make Sabura, I ain't gonna meet Marabio, So he appeased that side of the house, and then he come back, he appeased this other side. Well, the party that we all agree, So he's playing the line very well. We see that. We all It doesn't take much intelligence to see that. I guarantee you, there are some part in this or my meeting here that come to the way for analyze Timbo better safe pass me. You already analyze what he do so, but it's clear to see what he's doing, dangling between, right? But what is very, very clear. It is the fact that for all the people where they sit on the Allah, Bona Sabura, I ain't gonna meet her. This is the fact. Go to the party, tell the party. Again, don't forget, I made it very clear. These people wanted to go to parliament. Dr. Samura Kamara was pressed. It be there in between all these warring factions. Marabio, of course, the international community don't see say we have a one-party state system. Ambassador David Reimer was saying that, hey, I want to encourage these people to go back to parliament. I want to encourage the councillors to go back to their various councils. I want the government and the systems to work so we don't have a one-party state system. So Ambassador Reimer was there pressuring Dr. Samura Kamara, right? So they'll get beforehand the stalemate of everybody returning back. You have the APC parliamentarians, them like the Timbos and all, where they want to go parliament because they don't hard up, they don't get money because again, politics is the only way in and out of Sierra Leone. So these are the contexts that really matters to the people of Sierra Leone. So yeah, Dr. Samura Kamara was, where he be say, this international community, they want to see democracy working. They say, okay, we can find a way to resolve this thing. Marabiono said the pressure was on. The APC party they under. All of these people, they squeeze Dr. Samora Kamara, this one man. We don't put in foot down till they say, no, I'm not going to accept this. Because we cannot tolerate this level of foolishness in our country. When we say we get democracy, let's practice democracy. So when you listen to these points from Timbo, I just want to make this very clear so everybody understands. Because again, it does not take a rocket scientist to understand the play with Timbo they play now. Play this side, play that side. But it's obviously one thing is very crucial. The elections of the June 24, 2023, that election result should be announced. I don't do live now. I've done lives showing you guys the websites of, Liberia. I showed you guys the website of Ghana, the Electoral Commission's website. You can see all the disaggregated data, polling station for polling station, tabulated, uploaded these documents into the websites. Sierra Leone's ECSL website, there is nothing but Mohamed Kanawe telling us that now 1.5 million votes. Naim Marabio gets, now so he win the election. Nothing like the result reconciliation forms. Nothing, not even by the regional, see something, and then from the regional, how we get into the polling stations and all the votes. We want for Siam. In an election, it matters in Sierra Leone because you can use that data for a lot of other resources that I don't want to get into for the purposes of this life. But it's people like Timbo don't enable Marabio for stay in power illegally at this particular point in time. Because if Timbo be sacrificed, just like I don't resign from the APC party, don't forget, I don't think he's getting paid being Assistant Secretary General. Even if he's getting paid, I don't think it's up to what he's getting as a member of parliament. But these guys are in parliament illegally and unconstitutionally occupying that parliament against the will of the people of Sierra Leone, against 95% of the population of Sierra Leone today. Then Mambi, they didn't pardon them. Everybody knows that the election was stolen and rigged. But people like Timbo then continue for aid and abet in this level of corruption and deceit to destroy our democracy in Sierra Leone. With everything with Timbo then witnessed in that country today, he's a small boy. I'm older than him, but not too far to where experience the same thing we all experienced, the rebel war, the brutal rebel war. We felt the pain. They will get amputees them in that country, they pass up and down with their hand cut, their foot cut. The reason for the war that Ali Kaba and others gave to justify these SLPP people, a lot of these SLPP folks today supported the rebel war because they said we had a one-party state system, and they said we had a dictatorship. They said we had an autocracy. They said we had a totalitarian state with Shaka Stevens until Momo came into power. Even though we had elections planned, in 1992 by September, NPRC came, this Marabio, they overthrow Joseph Saidu Momo in 1992 April, right? So these guys, they've never really cared about all of the history, the dark past of Sierra Leone, because if people like Timbo as a young, small boy, if he really cares about what actually happened in Sierra Leone, I don't think say for it go continue for dance with this SLPP. These guys, after the tripartite committee came out and said the APC won that elections, if not for the adopt business with Indipan, where politics then are the only source of income for a lot of these guys. Timbo is a lawyer. How much money you go make in law profession? I don't know. Maybe full disclosure needed for but in Sierra Leone, how you go know? Because people like Timbo, therefore ask them for the financial statement. How much money they make outside of the politics? Put the parliamentarian aside. Now he's a parliamentarian, of course, he's not going to practice law. But if he's practicing law, how much he go make for a year? What are some of the case system? All of these are investigations where some of us get for look into. Every law in Sierra Leone, they get for the file these. I believe say the documentation is there. Show me how many cases you represent, how many cases you handle every year, how much money you make per this case system, which thing that you win, which thing that you losses. We have to see this. But that is not the conversation here for today. But the fact of the matter is, people like Timbo, we're going to continue to listen to him, but these are the guys that are aiding and abetting in the destruction of democracy in Sierra Leone right now. Every member, every person, from the ministers, the police, the military, judiciary, everybody, members of parliament, traders union, petty traders association, all of these student unions, then we're silent at this particular point in time whilst the democracy is getting slashed and destroyed. These are the people that we should ask and hold to task when it comes to that time. Because the guy say again, go to cutting tree, look around, see people in Teti, they will get their hand cut, their foot cut. If these guys respect these people, if Marabio respect these people, they will do the right thing by the people of Sierra Leone. Democracy is the power of the people, for the people and by the people. Let's continue to listen to Timbo Naya. Let's continue to listen to him.
What we suppose for do at this time, now for understand say, now we go sign a tripartite agreement. So your process for achieve electoral justice, as you call them, is what is contained in this tripartite agreement. In terms of honesty, I feel Dr. Samora Kamara needs to come out and tell his people that we road to electoral justice is what is contained in the tripartite agreement. The party also need to come and take responsibility.
Yeah. So you see, again, Timbo talking, and it's just blowing smoke, right? You see, and I agree to a certain extent as far as Dr. Samara Kamara coming out now, especially after the tweet, right? Ongoing political transition. I did a live the other day and I spoke about that. Ongoing political transition. I think that is a very strong language. Ongoing political transition. And all of us know, say, Dr. Samora Kamara should be handed over the power. He won the elections. It's very clear. Everybody knows that he won the elections. So there is an ongoing political transition. The other day, he tweeted that. Everybody, you've seen that. You know, your Andy. Which ongoing political transition in these times when we're still disputing the elections, it means we've finally gotten to a conclusion. There is a transition team in place looking into the handing over from Marabio to Dr. Samora Kamara. Ongoing political transition. It is not ongoing political review. We know they are reviewing they've been reviewing the constitution forever, electoral laws forever. We don't care about the review of electoral laws or the constitution. These have always been there. These guys don't respect laws. No matter how much we try to review these laws, nothing is going to change if the individuals are corrupt to the core and they're not prepared to abide by these laws that they have in place. There is no shortage of law in Sierra Leone that led to the rigging of the June 24, 2023 elections. We don't get shortage of law. It is very clear in the Public Elections Act. However, for tabulate results, they violated it. So nothing is going to change because you have the same crops of individuals at the helm of affairs. And therefore, we know nothing is going to change. So for as long as we have these corrupt individuals in that country running the helm of affairs, nothing is going to be new. So we don't care about electoral reviews or constitutional reviews. We don't care. This is what the international community have to understand. The people of Sierra Leone don't care about these review of these laws, because even if they review these laws for 100 years, as long as we have the same corrupt minds, the same dirty and filthy individuals that don't respect these laws that they said they are passing, there's nothing is going to change. So Timbo, we know where you're coming from and we understand, and that is why people like myself are here. The fact of the matter is, do I agree at this point, as it is right now, that Dr. Samora Kamara should tell us what he knows? This secret ongoing political transition, what is the framework? What is the time frame? What is actually going on? Who is leading this ongoing political transition? This is a very strong language and we have to understand. I agree there should be proper transparency now. Because again, don't forget, the fight for electoral justice is never going to end. Electoral justice is everything we deal with every day across the world, including even America. Electoral justice is something that is ongoing. It never dies as long as we're in a democracy. And Sierra Leone say we get to democracy. That is why this is very crucial that people like myself are going to stand on these points that we've been making. The fact is, the results of the June 24, 2023 elections is not there. And we as a nation, as Sierra Leoneans, we should not be looked as a fool, a nation of fools, because that is how the world will look at we. We are a bunch of nincompoops and buffoons. If we allow this, with everything that we know, giving the history that we know of our country, if we allow this to go down, then we as Sierra Leoneans cannot hold anybody again accountable or blame anybody. We go take up arms against the state again, like how Ali Kabane go take up arms against the state for these kinds of actions that they say oppression, suppression, no democracy. You know what? In this, because this is what we're seeing today. If that mommy, they complain, say, then just go dirty the hand and no more on the election, then the result, they're not even sure. That is how much these people are pissed off. And there is a voter apathy. It's going to happen. If power is not handed over to Dr. Samora Kamara, people get for Sierra Leone, they also need vote again in elections in Sierra Leone because they've lost confidence in the system and in the process. And there's nothing worse like losing confidence in the system. And that is what we have in Sierra Leone. That is why I continue to rally call Sierra Leoneans that we should not sit back and allow this to happen. We should, as Sierra Leoneans, stand up for these kinds of things. You people should go to the international community, especially United Nations, because their representative in Sierra Leone was the one that actually was part of the tripartite, which made it to be 3 parts. The APC, the SLPP, and the international community. The United Nations representative to Sierra Leone, I think his name is Ahonsi or something, is the guy that actually represented, the international community at the tripartite. So this is very crucial that Sierra Leoneans, I think, should ask a fundamental question, now, so these people to come out to us and say something, because since the end of the tripartite, they haven't said anything. All right. So I think this is the guy who is the representative, for United Nations in Sierra Leone, right here. The current ambassador and permanent representative of Sierra Leone to the United Nations. Oh, no, that's not what I'm looking for. UN representative to Sierra Leone is what I'm looking for. UN representative to Sierra Leone. Come on, give me a break. You know what? Let me do this. United Nations special representative to Sierra Leone. Okay. The current special representative of the Secretary General. Man, come on. Let's see. Team in Sierra Leone, United Nations. Okay, let me do it this way then. Team in Sierra Leone. Resident coordinator Abdul Mwonge. So these folks, I guess, are representing. This is resident coordinator, country manager for World Bank, RCO. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the special representative to Sierra Leone. But anyways, these are the United Nations people in Sierra Leone, and I think these are the folks that we should ask questions to. What is happening? I think it's very crucial that we ask these people these questions. So yes, I think it's very important that we ask these folks these questions. But these are the people that are actually, United Nations. So we have to ask them. They've never said anything to us. That part of the tripartite. So Dr. Samura Kamara, we're expecting at least to get a final something to hear what's actually happening with the ongoing political transition. The SLPP should come clean, which we're not going to have that from Marabio. But the United Nations representative to Sierra Leone at the time, should. I have to find this, man. I have to find this. Why is this information scarce? To Sierra Leone. I think his name is Mr. Ohansi something. Let me see. The current United Nations representative to Sierra Leone. Yes. It is this guy right here. Okay. This is him right here. Yes. Secretary General appoints Babatunde Ahonsi. But this was 2020. Who's the current person? But this was the guy who actually represented us, the international community, in the tripartite. So I think in a serious society, if only the young people are not thinking about the next musician, whatever, go in show, they should ask these questions in front of the United Nations building. They should gather there. 2,000-3,000 Sierra Leoneans should gather in front of the United Nations building to ask this question. This man was the person who represented, the international community in the tripartite. Also, the American ambassador. The Sierra Leoneans should go and ask them these fundamental questions. What's going on with the ongoing political transition? That is why, again, I played this Timbo's conversation here. Follow and see exactly what people like you really talk about. But this is what I'm going to do. Let me, at least, if anything, continue let we listen to Timbo Naya, and then we'll take it from there. Let's listen to Timbo.
Say yes. Now we be agree. So they go pan tripartite. And now we don't go pan tripartite. This is the outcome. What will we expect at the time?
By the way, what he's saying now is within the APC party executive. Remember, I don't talk about what Dr. Samara Kamara should do. Say, yes, like come forward and tell we the people them. We know now, say there's an ongoing political transition. So what he's saying now is what, the APC executives should do at this time. Now they talk so now. Listen.
Then go do a rerun, or maybe then go call early elections. It not happen, no. We have to come out and tell people that, but at the same time, accept responsibility. And even
I'm going to go reverse this.
It not happen, no.
Oh, no.
We have to come out and tell people that.
I want you guys to listen to this.
A tripartite agreement. So your process for achieve electoral justice, as you call them, is what is contained in this tripartite agreement. In terms of honesty, I feel Dr. Samora Kamara needs to come out and tell his people that we road to electoral justice is what is contained in the tripartite agreement. The party also need to come and take responsibility, say yes, now we be agree, so they go pan tripartite. And now we don't go pan tripartite, this is the outcome. What will we expect at the time? Say then go do a rerun, or maybe then go call early elections. It not happen, no. We have to come out and tell people that, but at the same time accept responsibility. And even if you come to the point you ask for forgiveness from the people, say, okay, the expectation are that because they don't thief on our votes during the 2023 elections, because we are still maintaining that elections was not free and fair. It was totally stolen from us. Okay, it don't be. We're sorry. We're not there. Because as far as I know,
The fact that Timbo is even making this suggestion in itself means he lacks, is bankrupt and bereft of any morals. The fact that he's even making this suggestion to the political party for come and tell people, say, yes, then Tifu election, no. But I don't want to take words away from him. Well, listen.
as a lawyer, there is no legal way under we laws where Dr. Samora then go hand over, President Bio go hand over power to him during this time. There is no legal way under the Constitution.
So if you say this is the
Right there. There is no legal way under the Constitution. You see, these are the brothers that are misleading our people. Within the Constitution tell we, Section 5, subsection 2A, makes it very clear. It says, through this Constitution, sovereignty belongs to the people. The government derives its legitimacy, its authority, and its power from the people. For Timbo to make this comment in a country where the elections results are not available, for say there is no way under the Constitution for Le Marabio hand over power to Dr. Samora Kamara, that in itself is a travesty. It is a shame. It is a disgrace. It is an affront to the people of Sierra Leone. It is an affront to democracy. This is mocking them people that wouldn't cut their hand and cut their foot them. This is mocking the victims of the rebel war where people them will die. This is mocking them bella woman they wouldn't plead them belly them. This they mock them young man they wouldn't tell them say for sleep with their mama them. This they mock brother they wouldn't tell say for sleep with their sister. This is mocking Sierra Leone at the highest level. For a sitting lawyer, somebody who claims to be a lawyer, for sit down and make this kind of a comment. When democracy in itself belongs to the people, the power is inherent in the people. We get elections, the results is not available there. Instead of Timbo making that known and sacrosanctly standing on the Constitution to say the Constitution is what gives the government power. And who gives the government power? The people, because the Constitution itself is about the people. For Timbo for say this and make this kind of, even make this recommendation to a political party, it shows you how corrupt these guys are. And it tells you how much democracy is dead in Sierra Leone. People like Timbo should stand up and ask Marabio for handover power to the winner of the elections, which INSESF say Marabio lost the elections. He said the APC won the elections. He said the elections were stolen. That is his own words. In his own words. And Timbo for make this suggestion to a political party, it is an affront to democracy. It is disgraceful. It is shameful. I'm going to let you guys listen to that one more time. Listen to that attentively. Sierra Leoneans don't listen. We need to pay attention closely. Listen to this.
Or maybe then go call early elections. It not happen, no. We have to come out and tell people that, but at the same time accept responsibility. And even if you come to the point you ask for forgiveness from the people, say, okay, the expectation are that because they don't thief on our votes during the 2023 elections, because we are still maintaining that elections was not free and fair. It was totally stolen from us. Okay, it don't be. We're sorry. We're not there. Because as far as I know as a lawyer, there is no legal way under we laws where Dr. Samora then go hand over, President Bio go hand over power to him during this time. There is no legal way under the Constitution.
Wow.
So you feel say this is the right time for make Dr. Samora come out to the people of Sierra Leone or the people of the followers of the APC party for make them very clear about waiting.
All right, guys, for the purposes of it on late, I just come home. I'm going to leave this video as it is and just make my closing remarks. The fact that Timbo, they advise in political party and they tell we say there is no way under the law, under the constitution, that Marabio for hand over power to Dr. Samora Kamara. That is the very essence of the sellout we've been talking about the whole time. If this man is sincere and believes, say, APC won the elections, how can you guys sit down and superintend over a parliament that is unconstitutional? So waiting Timbo they imply now, it's been 2 years. Let us move on. Let's forget about this. It done. Remember the done endorsed language, whatever they use? That is what Timbo is implying. And we're saying no. No. When we have an elections, the people's voice matter. When I remember when Marabio make the comment for say 1996, now you know what he was Greenway were for let SLPP kind of power. Marabio has been rigging elections successively over the years. We don't talk about the 2018 election because they say that in a regime change. I'm not going to go into that. I don't have the facts. I don't have the details, but we've heard that. They say Samora won the elections, but they say that regime change. So, and Eskroma hand over to Marabio. I'm not going to go into that. I'm sticking with June 24, 2023 elections. The results are not out. We don't have the results. The APC won the elections. 71% of the RRF forms shows that Dr. Samora Kamara had 57.15% of the vote. And Timbo is sitting here and telling us that there is no way in the constitution that Marabio would hand over power again when we had a tripartite that said Dr. Samora Kamara won, both convergent and divergent. The tripartite committee made it very clear that the APC, it is in the tripartite report as well. I think it's page 341 or so. The RRF, the APC forms that were gathered by the APC, 71% of those RRF results reconciliation forms showed that Dr. Samora Kamara had 57.15% of the votes. And then Timbo, a young boy, we just turned 40. We witnessed a brutal rebel war in Sierra Leone. They mocked the people of Sierra Leone. They mocked democracy. They mocked the constitution. They bastardized the constitution itself. They did a parliament and they collect money, salary every day, whilst the people are dying of hunger and starvation. People are dying because they don't get access to proper health care. And Timbo get the gumption, the temerity and the audacity for advice and tell we say there is nowhere in the constitution we make them for say Marabio for hand over power to Dr. Samora Kamara. When the people get the mandate, the people voted for the APC. The APC won the elections. Even if it takes 50 years, this history will judge them guy there very, very terribly. History is going to judge them and their generations for what they've done to Sierra Leone. But my last word is this. I think at this point in time, Dr. Samora Kamara, what you know where we know, the ongoing political transition, I think it's very important that we get some clarity. June is going to be 2 years since the elections. July is going to be a year since the end of the tripartite. We have to have a guide. We have to have a map. We have to have a framework. I'm a very intelligent person. I think a lot of Sierra Leoneans are just as intelligent. What is the guide? It sounds like there is a transition ongoing. We want to know. Because if we get the people involved in that process, it brings clarity, it brings transparency, and everybody knows how everybody knows. So we'll stop the doubt, because the fight for electoral justice is a never-ending battle, and we're going to keep fighting for that, because every day we have to work towards making sure that democracy works for the people. So I appreciate you guys, all right? Share. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.